To another live CSEC class. Tonight we're going to be looking at standard form, also called scientific notation. Now, this is pretty simple, pretty straightforward, but it's something that you do need to know. And the standard form or scientific notation is a way of writing numbers that are very, very big or very, very small in a way that is convenient, right? So we're talking about exceptionally large or exceptionally small numbers. So we're going to learn how to write them so they can hold on the space on your book, right? Okay, so before we go into that, let me play for you our schedule of live classes. Remember, we have 5 live PEP classes per week and 6 live CSEC classes per week. Here is our schedule. Hello CSEC math students, I know you are busy preparing for your math tests and your CSEC exams coming up. I have a very important question to ask you. Do you like my new hat? Thank you. Now another important question. Have you ever gotten a math problem wrong simply because of making one little mistake? I'm sure you have, as thousands of other students have. Now in this series, we're going to be looking at the common mistakes that students make with all the topics in CSEC math. We're going to look at the common errors, demystify everything. Make sure you watch every video in this series so that you can avoid making those mistakes. So stay tuned. Hello scholars, did you know that most times when students get problems wrong in mathematics is as a result of one single error or one mistake? Well, this is absolutely true, and we're going to be looking at the common errors that students make in the different topics in mathematics. If we know the errors beforehand, we can certainly avoid making them. Are you ready? Come on, take my hand. All right, so we're going to be looking at standard form. So let me invite my studio crew to join me. Welcome Imani. Is John there?
Yes, yes, miss.
Welcome John, welcome Asar. All right, so
Night, miss.
standard form. Okay, so standard form or scientific notation. So when we have relatively large numbers, right? 0, 1, 8, 6, 9, or relatively small numbers. We're going to do those in a while. We want to write them in a format that doesn't make it look so big. So what we do is we express it in standard form, and in standard form, we only want one digit to be to the left of the decimal point, and then we're going to express that and multiply it by 10 to a power, and that power would be telling us how many places we'd have to move back to the left or right, depending on what the power is, to get it to the original, if we want to get it to the original. So what I'm saying is this. So we only want one digit to the left. So it's going to be the 4. So it will be 4.340. 0.1869. And sometimes they actually want you to round it off, write it in standard form, but round it off. So you don't have to have all these digits. But we're not going to round it off tonight. We're just going to show how to write it in standard form. So that would be times 10 to what? So in other words, it was originally this, which was 43,401,869. We're writing it now as 4. So it was 43 million and now it's 4. So what would we need to multiply this by to get it back to the 43 million? We'd have to move back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 places to get it back here. So it's 10 to the power of 7. So this is now in standard form or scientific notation. So let's do another one. So let's say we have 6, 0, 5, 7, 9, 1. So that's 605,791. So to write that in standard form, we'd need a 6 as the only digit to the left. Write the other digits. So how many places would we have to move it back to the right to make it original? So it was here. So we'd have to move it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 10 to the 5th power, right? All right, so let's look at some now that are quite small and we want to write them in standard form. So let's say we have 0.000058. So to write this in standard form, we would want the 5 to be the only digit to the left. All right, we don't want the zeros, we want the 5. So it will be 5.86. So this time we took the decimal point from here and we put it here. So how many places would we have to move back now to the left to take it from here to there? So we'd have to go back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that means it's 10 to the negative 5 because to get back to the original, we have to move to the left. So it's not 10 to the 5th, 10 to the negative 5th power, or the 10 to the negative 5. How about this one? All right, so 34.83. We know we want it here. So that would be 3.483. Would we have to multiply by 10 to a positive power or a negative power?
Negative, miss.
Would we have to move back to the left or
Right.
back to the right?
Miss to the left. We're going to the left, so
We'd have to move back to the left to get it to the original place where it was.
oh no, I read that wrong. We have to move to the right, so you're
Yeah,
going
we'd have to move
to
to the
opposite.
right. So we'd have to move one place to the right to get it back to here. So that's 10 to the first power.
First power.
Yeah. All right. And that's pretty much it for standard form. That's pretty much it. If you, so you're writing You're writing the number with one decimal place, one digit to the left of the decimal point, and then all you're going to ask yourself is, would I have to move back to the right or back to the left to get it to the original, and how many places? If you would have to move to the right to get it back to the original, is going to be to a positive 10 to a positive power. If you'd have to move it back to the left to get it to the original, it's going to be times 10 to a negative power. So let me give each of you, as usual, let us take turns, and you're going to write them in standard form for me. All right, so Asar, this is yours.
Four. Wait, one sec. 4,816,000. No,
Mm-hmm.
48,160,000. 48,000,000.
Mm-hmm.
160,057.
All right, so how would I write it in standard form?
So the four, you put the decimal point after the four.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I write back all of these. All right.
And then you times by 10. And then you look how many times you moved it.
All right, so how many places would I have to move it to get it back to the end of the number? Because remember, there's an imaginary decimal point at the end of a whole number, right? Because we could put 0.0. So how many places would I have to move it from here to
So
get
you
it
moved,
back there?
you moved it 7, so times 7.
So is it a positive 7 or a negative 7?
Positive 7.
All right, because I'll have to move back to the right. All right, John,
Yes, miss. Hey, get the easy one.
get easy one.
Is it miss?
We say get an easy one.
Yes, miss.
All right, so what do I do here?
Miss, you first find the whole number that is not zero, miss, which is 5.
Mm-hmm.
Then you put
Mm-hmm.
it as a decimal, miss, so it's 5.16 times 10.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, miss, so we go back 4 places, miss, from the 5. Well, we start from the 5, miss, and go back to the point.
Mm-hmm.
So that's it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4. Miss 10 to the negative 4th. Oh,
Okay. All right, that's correct. All right, Imani.
okay, miss. Oh, okay. I thought you were going to continue writing numbers.
No,
So,
that's it.
we're going to have the decimal between to get it to a significant. Well, let's just put the decimal between the 1 and the 2, since
Okay.
we're trying to get it back to the original form. And to get it back to the original form, we'd multiply it by 10 to the um. So how we're going to know how much we're multiplying it by the power? We're going to count how many spaces we have to move back to get it in between the two zeros. So it
Mm-hmm.
would be 1, 2, 2 spaces. So it would be 10 to the negative 2, since we're moving backwards or to the left.
Okay. All right, Asar.
First, you find the whole number, which is 9,
Mm-hmm.
and then you put the decimal place after that.
Mm-hmm.
And then you see how many times you move. So you actually move 3 times. So it's 10 times 10 to the negative third power. But if it's a decimal, then it's negative.
Okay. So we were here and we put it here. So that's 1, 2, 3 places. All right. So you realize this class won't be a very long class tonight because there isn't much more to it, right? We're just doing some extra practice, but we're going to wrap up early tonight. All right. So John, this is yours.
Yes. It's like trying. It's waiting for the thing to that here in the show. Okay. Okay.
Go ahead,
So,
John.
so I'm going to start with the first whole number, which is 4.
Mm-hmm.
Since it's the 4.3560043.
Mm-hmm.
I must to get it back to its original place. It'd be so much it'd be 4.3560043 times 10 to the first floor.
To the first power.
Oh no, times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times 10 to the seventh floor.
To the seventh power. Okay. All right.
Imani.
Imani, how
Yes,
about that
miss.
number? Write it in standard form.
Okay, miss. So miss, since it's a whole number, it would be 8.0,
Mm-hmm.
and to get it back to the original, we're going to multiply it by 10 to the 1 power.
You do know
Oh
that
no,
10 to the
sorry.
first power is 10.
Wait, 10 to the 0 power.
Okay. All right. 10 to
Because
the
10 to the
0
0
power.
power is 1.
Okay. Very good. All right, Asar, how about this number in standard form?
6.0 times 10 to the first power.
Okay. All right. So I'm just going to give each person, so after I do John, I'm just going to give each person 2 more. Okay. Because this is
Okay,
really
miss.
too easy. Um, all right, so John,
Oh, that's my number. Okay.
yeah, this is yours, John.
Okay, miss. So miss, we're just ignoring the numbers at the left, miss, and we're just miss at the
We're
four
ignoring the
point
numbers.
miss the fourth miss the 400 the 4,600.
We're ignoring them.
Oh no, miss it, the 4.600394 times 10 to the
Mm-hmm.
times 10 to the sixth bonus.
So 6 power.
Yes, miss, the sixth bonus.
So from here to get it back to here, John,
Oh,
we
miss 10
want
to
it
the
back to here,
third bonus. Miss to
to
the
the
third bonus.
third power. Okay. All right, Asar.
Miss Miss forgot Imani. Imani. Miss forgot Imani.
Oh, sorry, Imani. Sorry. Okay, go ahead, Imani.
Okay, miss. So we're going to put the decimal between the 9 and the 1. So it's going
This
to be
this 9 and 1.
oh yes, miss the
Okay.
first 9 and 1. So 9.1749137.
Mm-hmm.
And to get it back to the original number, we're going to multiply it by 10 to the 1, 2, 3, 4 power. 10 to the fourth power.
Okay. All right. So that's your first one, Asar.
So that would be 2.6371548.
Mm-hmm.
And then we multiply it by 7 to get it back. So times 10 to the 7th power. No, sorry. Times 4. Times 10 to the 4th power.
Okay. So we need it back to here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And John.
Okay, miss. 88. What? Oh,
Go ahead.
okay, miss, let me 8.88416431 times 10 to the fifth power.
So it was here. So we'd have to move it back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So each person has one more.
Because I think this is the shortest session. I think this is
Yeah.
so that's my turn.
Okay. So Imani.
Yes, miss.
There you go.
So miss, we're going to put the decimal point between the 7 and the 9.
Mm-hmm.
And to get it back to where it was, we're going to
Mm-hmm.
go back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's going to be 10 to the negative 8 power.
Okay, that's correct. All right, Asar.
My turn.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the first whole number is 3, so 3.17.
Mm-hmm.
And then to get it back, you have to multiply by 5,
By 5.
negative 5.
Right, because we'd have to move back that way, right? Okay, John, your last one.
Okay, what's a zero?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let me see, this be 6 times
6.
6 times
It
10.
has to be 6 point something.
Let's pick 6.0 times 10 to the negative.
Times 10 to the what?
Which times 10 to the negative 8 power.
Okay. 6.0 times 10 to the negative 8. Yeah, and that's it, guys. So to recap, so this
Miss,
is
you
a
know
short,
my own?
huh?
No, Miss. I did my second one as
Yeah,
well.
Everybody got theirs.
Okay.
So to recap, standard form, which is also called scientific notation, and this is used a lot in like chemistry and physics. Sometimes when you're working with huge numbers or very, very small numbers, and bio as well, right? We're talking about microorganisms and how they multiply and stuff like that. You have to use scientific notation or to express extremely large or extremely small numbers, which would take up a lot amount of space, a huge amount of space, either in decimal places or in actual whole number figures because of their size. So we use standard form. We write the numbers, and like I said, sometimes we round the numbers too, and show that we're multiplying it by 10 to a power. So you're asking yourself, after you write it with just one digit to the left of the decimal point times 10 to the power, how we decide the power is how many places would you have to move back to get to the original. If you have to move a number of places back to the right to get it to the original, it's going to be times 10 to a positive index. If you have to move to a number of powers back to the left to get it to the original, it's going to be times 10 to a negative index. And that's all there is to it, right? So we don't need to make it any more complicated than it is. It is plain and simple, simply what we have shown it to be tonight. That's all there is to standard form. So tomorrow we will meet again, same time, same place. Right, guys?
Yes, miss.
All right, so
Yes,
thanks for
miss.
joining me, scholars, and I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, bye.
See you tomorrow, miss.
All right, so here's our schedule of live classes. Hello, CSEC math students. I know you are busy preparing for your math tests and your CSEC exams coming up. I have a very important question to ask you. Do you like my new hat? Thank you. Now, another important question. Have you ever gotten a math problem wrong simply because of making one little mistake? I'm sure you have, as thousands of other students have. Now, in this series, we're going to be looking at the common mistakes that students make with all the topics in CSEC Math. We're going to look at the common errors, demystify everything. Make sure you watch every video in this series so that you can avoid making those mistakes. So, stay tuned. Hello, scholars. Did you know that most times when students get problems wrong in mathematics is as a result of one single error or one mistake? Well, this is absolutely true, and we're going to be looking at the common errors that students make in the different topics in mathematics. If we know the errors beforehand, we can certainly avoid making them. Are you ready? Come on, take my hand.